It's Wednesday, March 29th. This is an end of the day SPY recap, and today we end up with a two-up bar gap up that paused a little bit near the pre-market highs and then eventually worked its way closing near the high of the day. You can see we have a gap here that could be eventually a target on the downside if anything reverses. But we were kind of gapping up right to our magnet. When you had this bar yesterday and you had a two up developing, this was kind of the high to take out. And that's why if you look at the 15-minute chart, right at that high, you were pausing for a long time before finally breaking out higher. Your bias was always to the upside, but it was just a matter of when you have a big gap up like this, if you look at the 15-minute chart from yesterday, sometimes it has to pause a little bit before it continues higher, and that's what happened today. So the way the trading went today, right from the first bar, it kind of paused a little bit. It's always, tricky when you get, you play that first momentum play. But since that was the overnight highs and you paused, you went long here on that bar number 2. And I shot a video how I went long. When I saw it failing here, I immediately got out for a small loss. And I said I'd remonitor for a re-entry. Now, what happened was you came down. It would have been nice to take out the exact stop here, but the market didn't do that. So you had your red to green move kind of here to buy. At that point, I was looking more at individual stocks to buy. And I shot some videos. If I go, I bought Tesla here on kind of its red to green move at the blue line. It went higher and it was a nice trade. And then I bought Meta or Facebook on its kind of, this was actually a stronger looking stock to me that was just pausing once it made the green move. Then it took out its intraday high and it was a nice trade on the day as well. So in terms of the SPY, you could have done that as well. It came up here, it didn't take out its high. Once it paused in here, I kind of had a SPY. I bought some calls here for this kind of push up to see if it would break out and really build some momentum. I kind of anticipated this. But anyway, it got up there. I tried to scale out, couldn't get it. And I shot a video how I took a very small gain on this trade and said I'm just going to watch it from that point going forward. Again, not surprising to me. We came down, took out the stops here, and then had another red to green move. You could have tried it one more time for an afternoon trade and you would have done well if you would have taken that. But, the opportunities were all to the long side today. There were a bunch of stocks that look good, but in general, you had to wait for a little bit of red to green move on a gap up, which is very common. As long as you're holding the midway point of this bar, you're biased to the upside, and you're just looking for opportunities to the long side based on structure. So today you have that. We have the weekly chart still heading up here. We've kind of discussed how that's kind of still what's going on. We'll see if we have this target up here to reach for 2 days now. That seems to be the target, this weekly high from last week. We'll see if that then broadens out. It looks like this big red bar now. We're getting to the point where since we took out the low of that bar, we're heading to the high of that bar. I mean, I don't know if we're going to get there by the end of the week, 407-ish, but it's definitely possible. And one or two strong days get you right up there. And that's what's developing right now until this weekly chart begins to fail. And that, will happen if we take out the open of that bar. We're kind of monitoring that. As long as we're above it, we're going to be biased to the upside. And we'll look for some kind of daily failure of some kind, maybe to start that move to the yellow line and head lower. But until then, we're just biased to the upside. And that's why you're just looking for buy opportunities on this 15-minute chart today. And finally, the monthly chart is, now turned green. We've come down. We failed to take out that target. So that's like a failure that could, if it closes strong, we still have a few more days to go in the month, that could kind of lead to expectations that you're going to take out the high of that month, which would then, target up to that area. So, which is what, the 420 area or something like that? Yeah, in the 420 area. So, that's what's unfolding, but we'll see how the month closes. We still have a few days to go. So anyway, green day today, that was anticipated, and it closed strong. And now, you can see a clear target up here. So we'll see if we gap up there, what happens, or if we head up there, whether we continue or fail, given that that's the next target. But, if we don't fail, then we have targets up here above, and we have this whole broadening formation that's, made lower lows here, and we're looking to make higher highs possibly here, and we were getting ready to break out of this congestion, and it looks like today is that kind of that breakout day. So that's why you're still expecting higher as the days and possibly weeks move on.